Hey, so let me tell you about my two friends, Zach and Dan. Zach, he grew up in Western society, the Western culture, where individuals are more accustomed to communication in a more direct way. While my friend Dan, he came from an Eastern society where they don't prefer directness, they prefer indirect communication. Zach gets frustrated recently. Him and Dan are moving in together for college, and Dan doesn't seem to meet the same excitement as Zach does. Zach wants to communicate about the moving plans, and he feels like Dan's not listening or like engaging in a conversation about moving. He does. It's as if he doesn't understand Zach's emotions behind the big move. But in reality, there's two different emotions, expressive emotions. One's outward, one's inward. Zach, he is very much an extrovert, very vocal, very expressive, wearing emotions on his sleeve. He finds more comfort in that. Talking out his feelings helps regulate his emotions. Then there's Dan, an introvert. He likes indirectness. It allows Dan to express himself tactfully and diplomatically, avoiding conflict if he can, and potential conflict. It provides a safe space for him to maintain his social harmony. He's great at listening instead of talking due to the Eastern culture he was brought up in. It, but it makes it difficult to understand Zach's big emotions because he's not accustomed to it or dealing with someone with expressive emotions like that. It can be challenging though for Zach to understand Dan as well because he doesn't understand why someone so closed off doesn't want to express his emotions because that's not how he grew up. He grew up very expressive. So I want to talk about the role of context, emotion, and listening within relationships. And using this situation with Zach and Dan. Then I'll recommend some steps to improve their communication and understanding emotions as a whole. So, first, context. Context in communication is the situation, background, and environment in which the communication happens. Zach and Dan have different backgrounds and cultures. They also have different influences on how they communicate. Being aware of each other's backgrounds and cultural influences, they can come to an understanding about their communication styles and understanding it's just how they grew up, their backgrounds, their family that has incorporated into their life and into their communication styles. Emotions are an important part in communication. It allows individuals to express their emotions. Zach, he is very vocal on that, but Dan struggles expressing his emotions like Zach. Finding ways and situations where both individuals can express them safely is key for a strong relationship. Zach can be a lot calmer in the way he communicates since it's a lot for Dan to take in. And then Dan can find safe ways for him to express his own emotions, even if it's little baby steps. Then listening. The role of listening. Active listening is a great tool to use in communication. It lets the speaker know that they're listening to your words and the non-verbal cues. Dan is quiet, an introvert, and doesn't like to talk. However, to keep his friendship and show his friend he cares about the move, he can use tools like paraphrasing what Zach said, making eye contact while they're talking, using nonverbal cues like facial emotions. Zach needs to relax and calm down in his conversations, not taking the whole time about himself, but maybe asking Dan how he feels, giving him time and space to share his feelings. Now, those recommendations I suggest: 1. Understanding each other's cultural backgrounds and the influence it plays in communication. 2. Find ways that fit your comfort when sharing emotions. Implementing 3. Implementing active listening skills in your conversations. When you understand the context, emotion, and listening, how it plays out in relationship, Zach and Dan are friends and they should get to know each other's backgrounds and cultural cultures because it's obvious it can affect their communication. They both should learn from each other and find ways to communicate in safe and stress free ways. They both can use active listening skills that keep their relationship healthy. Hopefully, you enjoyed it.